Welcome to FBB Forum. My name is David, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like this content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow the FBB Forum Instagram and YouTube page. And the links are listed below in the comments. To watch, excuse me, I'm skipping ahead here. I'm
Mhm.
very pleased to welcome the amazing IFBB Pro Women's Physique athlete and 2023 Olympian and Women's Physique athlete Candice Carr to the podcast. Candice lives in Trinidad and has been competing in bodybuilding since 2000. She most recently competed this year at the Toronto Pro Supershow, where she placed in the top 10 in both the Masters 35 and over and the open classes. And in 2023, she won both the 40 and over and 50 and over classes at the Masters World Pro and earned a top 10 spot at the Masters Olympia in Romania. Um, Candice has an amazing physique, and I've been a big fan for a long time. So stay tuned to find out more about her and find out what she's up to next. Thank you, Candice. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, David. I have to say I like the intro, but I'm not a 2023 Olympian. I will be an Olympian, but it's not this year. But that was a slight error you made.
Oh, but you did Masters Olympia, though.
That was last year.
Yeah, the 2023.
Okay. My apologies. You just said Olympian, so I was just thinking, okay. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, well, no.
Oh, no, no, no problem.
Oh,
No.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I was so pleased to see you at the Masters Olympia. You looked really good.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You looked awesome. Yeah. And getting in top 10 was great too. I know that was a tough class for sure.
Yes, yes it was.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Now, I was curious in terms of getting started in bodybuilding. Did you have an athletic or sports background before you started?
Yes, my little sister and I, when we were growing up, both did karate.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Yes. And we began by taking part in tournaments. And I wanted to get stronger to compete in the tournaments. In those days, our dojo was at the YMCA. And right next to the dojo was a little, in those days, it was the Joe Weider multi-station. That was all that it had. And I would go across and go through the Muscle and Fitness magazine just to get an idea of what to do.
Okay.
I remember I saw a picture of Corey Everson and reading the article on her, and I remember they said I think she was the only um, female competitor at the time where one of her thighs was actually larger than her waist, and I thought she looked fantastic, and I said, you know what, I want to do that.
That's
And
terrific.
as time went by, I stopped the martial arts and I continued fiddling around with the gym, that kind of thing. And it stuck. I like it.
That's terrific. Yeah, Corey Everson is amazing, and she's inspired so many women too, I think.
Yes.
I know she used to be on TV more often with the body shaping show and
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
yeah, and the back when the competitions were on TV too, like on ESPN and NBC. I remember seeing her a few times and yeah,
Yes.
she's amazing. That's a great role model for sure.
Definitely.
How far into karate did you get in terms of the belts?
Uh, when I stopped, I was actually preparing to be tested for my first degree black belt, and I just stopped there.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool though. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Um, Now in terms of getting started in bodybuilding, did anybody kind of convince you to do your first contest, or were you just kind of hooked looking at Corey
I,
and
yeah, I was just kind of hooked, but it was trial and error. So I didn't know anything about anything, as in not even what body part to book, when, diet, and that sort of thing. So it was an interesting journey.
okay,
And
yeah,
mhm.
that's very cool. That's awesome. Um, Now, I know you mentioned Corey Everson, but do you have a fitness role model currently that you look up to?
There are a lot of physiques that I admire. I still admire Linda Murray to this day, although she doesn't compete. And it's not just her physique; she is such. I've interacted with her on several occasions, and while she is a beautiful person physically, internally as well, and it radiates. When it is you talk to Linda Murray, she has such a calming, peaceful joy about her. So Linda Murray, definitely. Um, I will say Andrea Shaw, and not just because she's the reigning Miss Olympia. I met Andrea a few years ago in Chicago, the Chicago Pro, and I think she was doing women's physique at the time, actually. And I saw and I said, wow, she is so big. And ironically enough, I think that was the show. They told her that she should switch to women's bodybuilding.
Oh
And
yeah.
yes, and similarly to Linda, when you speak to Andrea, her personality kind of draws you in. So
Yeah.
it's a combination.
That's
Not
terrific.
just the physical, but also their personalities.
Yeah, I understand. I've met them both, and they're both just really super sweet. And Linda is just kind of a legend in the sport for sure. She's and she still gives back, in terms of being
Yeah.
a promoter and a commentator and a cheerleader, I think, for a lot of the ladies. And Andrea is that way too. Yeah, for somebody who's been Ms. Olympia for a few years now, she's very humble, just really sweet, so um, that's terrific. Yeah, that's great that you got to meet them both. Um, I was curious, was it tough for you to get up on stage in a bikini for the first time when you competed? Was it nerve-wracking for you?
Oh, that's an understatement of epic proportions. Nerve-wracking was, I remember shaking. You ever been to those, you can literally feel yourself shaking. And I'm talking to myself saying, stop shaking. And it just wasn't working.
I understand it. Do you
Yeah.
get nervous these days, or are you
Um,
pretty comfortable?
I still get a little nervous, but it's not as before. I think everybody still gets that pre-stage jitters. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not as intense as it was when I just started.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah. No, I bet it takes a while to get used to being up on stage and just such little clothing, and you're being judged by the judges, of course, but the whole audience too. And it's just like you're so exposed. So um but yeah, no, you look amazing though. I always liked your look, and your lats and waist are just really, really amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Now, I was wondering, do you hope to compete again this year? Because I thought you looked really great at Toronto Pro.
Yes, looking at a show later on in the year, the calendar keeps changing. So looking at something probably in late November, early December. I
Okay.
haven't put a final nail in it as yet, but if not, I will just hold out till next year and
Okay.
see what improvements I can make
That's
during.
terrific.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, no, I would hope that'd be great to see you compete again. And did you have a good experience at Toronto Pro?
Yes, yes, I did. I don't think I've ever had a bad experience of any of my competitions because each experience is different. The atmosphere, the promoters run the show differently. Oftentimes, I meet new people, and that's always good. And even better than that, I reconnect with people that I haven't seen for certain periods of time. So I always enjoy any competition that I attend.
That's terrific. Yeah. Now tell me your experience about at last year's Masters Olympia in Romania. Did you enjoy that show? And was it kind of cool to be in Romania and in Masters Olympia coming back like that?
Yeah. Yes, it was cool. I don't think cool is the word. It was really exciting. My body was a little off in terms of the time difference because I was like, oh, what time is it? So when I think it's a 7 or 8 hour difference. So my body had to adjust to that. But that was fine. I suppose that goes with the long travel. But it was really an amazing experience. I think it's the first time they've had the Masters Olympia in I think over 20 years. So it was really an honor for me to be included on one of the athletes. I was able to compete in that
That's
milestone
terrific.
event. Yes.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
do you hope to do the Masters Olympia in Tokyo?
Yeah. Yes. God spare my life. That's the plan.
That's awesome. Very good. Yeah, I think that'd be terrific to get back there and yeah, there was such a it was as a fan, a longtime fan, it was great to see it come back and neat that they're like it looks like they're going to do it every other year and in different cities. So in different cities around the world. So it's definitely kind of exciting for sure.
Okay. Yes, it is.
Now, I was curious, where did you earn your pro card? And I bet that was an exciting experience for you.
Yes, coming from the Caribbean, we used to earn our pro card at CAC, which is the Central American and Caribbean Championship. So that's where I won my pro card. I won, in those days, it didn't have women's physique, it was bodybuilding. So I won the Masters Bodybuilding, the heavyweight, and in those days, they still had classes also. I think I'm selling out my age there. Yes, I
Mm,
won the Masters, the heavyweight, and the overalls. I owned my pro card at CAC in
that's,
2009, I think it was. Yes. Mhm.
oh, in 2009. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
In Grenada. It was in, that year. It was on the island of Grenada.
Oh, in Grenada? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. Um, uh, I was just thinking, do you know there's a Caribbean bodybuilder who I don't think she competes anymore, but her name is Gina Mackey.
Yes. I competed with Gina a few times, and I have lost contact with her. I'm sad to say, but yes, Gina was from Bahamas.
Oh,
Yes.
she had a
Yes.
great look. I loved her look. She was
Mhm.
amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think she's competed in several years now,
No,
but
she. No, I don't think she has. Yeah.
yeah, she's great though. Of the Caribbean ladies, I think she's one of the best. Um, I was curious, in terms of, do you after a show, do you seek judge feedback? And if so, where do they say you need to improve your physique or your
Oh, yeah. Oh,
presentation?
oh, yes. I try as best as possible to get the feedback from the judges.
What kind
Um,
of feedback do they give you, like this year from Toronto Pro?
oh, so from Toronto Pro, and I have to say I was really impressed with the feedback that I got. In terms of, it wasn't just a verbal feedback. The head judge, pardon my memory, but I can't remember her name off the top of my head. She sent me an email, and she's very detailed. She listed the pros and the cons, and I really appreciated that. So basically, what I need to work on, and I was aware of it, but I said, I like the detail that she went into, is my lower body. Always had a challenge with my glute hamstring tying,
Yeah.
and then that detail in my legs.
Oh,
So
I see.
that's basically it in a nutshell. The upper body, they ask to maintain certain things, but main focus should be the lower body.
Yes, I understand that. Yeah. And yeah, I think you do stand out with your upper body, I think. And it's your V taper is just really amazing, I think. Yeah, and your lats just look so good. So that's terrific. That's very cool. That's good that you get the feedback too.
Mhm.
Now, in terms of competing in how long have you competed in women's physique?
Where did I do my first women's physique? Because like I said, I started off in bodybuilding, and then there was the phase where the bodybuilding kind of died. So I think it was 2018. I think was my first women's physique
Oh,
competition.
wow.
Mhm.
I was curious, have you considered moving back into women's bodybuilding, or would that be something you'd be interested in doing?
Uh, no, I think I'll stick with women's physique. I don't think my body has the ability to pack on the amount of muscle that's needed for the bodybuilding.
Yeah,
Um,
I understand too. And you mentioned that you're 52, and I think it might be
yes,
harder too as you get older to.
yes, it is, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I can't believe you're 52. You look so young. I
Thank you.
thought maybe early 40s or something, but yeah, you look terrific. Um, I was curious if there's any advice that you could provide to ladies who are seeking to earn their pro card. I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but any advice that you could provide to ladies listening in?
It'll be hard to narrow it down because there's so many different factors. Um, I will say patience. Sometimes we want this and we want it now, and the race isn't always for the swiftest, but the person that endures. And apart from the patience, I will say seek good guidance. Have someone there that has your back, that is genuinely supporting you, that is guiding you. And if it is you going a little off track, they can say, hey, take a step back, do a reassessment, that kind of thing. And I would also say try to be humble. Um, Sometimes as human beings, we want something, we don't get it, and we think, I should have gotten that first place. And it's easy to develop a sort of anger because you think I'm this good. Everyone is good in their own right. but there's also always room for improvement. So try to maintain that degree of humility. If it is you don't get the placing that you want, take a step back, like you mentioned earlier, the judges' feedback, and say, okay, what do I need to fix, to adjust? And take that placing that you're not pleased with and the judges' feedback and combine it and use it as fuel for the fire. To say, okay, next time around, I'm going to be better. Yeah.
That's terrific. I like that. That's good. Very good advice. I love
Thank you.
the comment about humility. I think that is really important. Not just in bodybuilding, but just life in general, I think, Yeah. And like we were talking about Andrea and Linda, at the top of their game, as Ms. Olympia, but they're still so humble and sweet. It's
Yes. Yes.
amazing. Yeah. They're good investors for the sport for sure. I was curious, what would you say has been your favorite bodybuilding show so far, and why?
Oh, I will say the Arnold Classic that was in 2019. Um, I was thrilled to be able to go to the Arnold. That is the second high show after the Olympia. So I would say it was the Arnold and made the top 10. I think I placed seventh. So
Wow.
I don't think the person that won was as happy as I was with my seventh place. I was thrilled. And even more so after 2019, I think the only other year they had it was 2020, and they took out women's physique from it. So that would be etched in my memory for a long time, that I was actually able to set foot on an Arnold stage.
Oh, terrific. Yeah, I'm sorry too that it was dropped. I was disappointed when they dropped women's physique and women's bodybuilding and figure all got dropped. So I was bummed out about that, but it's good that you got to experience that though.
It was.
Yeah, I heard that the expo there is really good too. I'd love to
Oh,
see that.
it's enormous. Yeah, I remember being in the expo and I compared it to um, carnival we have here. So Trinidad and Tobago Carnival is a huge thing. There are no words to describe it, but thousands of people, music trucks, and it'll literally take you 5 minutes to make four steps because there's so many people you have to. The Arnold Expo was like that. It was so many people.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was literally shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, long lines.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Mhm.
That's so cool. That's amazing. Yeah, I'll have to check it out one of these days. Although, like I said, I'm not happy with the dropping the my favorite divisions. They dropped my favorite ones. So I'm like, I don't know.
Well, you never know. Things tend to change.
Yeah, I think maybe they'll come back and maybe the tide will turn over time. So yeah. Now I was curious, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of prep for you?
Prep. I will say eating, and it's not that I have a problem actually sticking to that. It's just that most times I just don't feel hungry, as weird as that sounds.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So while there's some people, let's suppose they're eating meals every 3 hours, and by 2 hours, 30 minutes, they're hungry. I literally have to set my alarm to go off, say, remind me to eat because I just, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, the
interesting.
eater. Yeah.
Is it do you find that the diet tough though? Just like the diet, in my opinion, would be tough because it's so monotonous, it's so the same every day. And that would just drive me crazy a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it does. The monotony does get to you, but you have to do what you have to do, and it's not forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least you have some good Caribbean seasoning in there, a little mojo,
Oh,
like
and yes, well, yeah, and here we oftentimes make our own seasoning. So oh, there are things that you will get. So thyme, um, something called shadow benny. It's different green plants, and you would blend it, put a little vinegar, salt. So it's like a homemade season, and it's different to regular store bought seasoning. So I could use
nice.
that because it's natural. There's not any preservatives in it. And there's also a powdered seasoning that I discovered called I think it's Feast Mode. They have some nice ones that I use also if I'm using the grill, because the George Foreman grill is my go-to. Fastest
Oh,
thing. Yeah. And
Yeah,
yeah,
those
so
are good.
yeah.
Those are really good. Yeah, really handy and yeah, they cook really well too.
Yes,
They're
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. I love Caribbean food, so I just was curious about that. Could spice it up a little bit, make it not so monotonous.
So glad, yeah, yeah. So I think that's one of the advantages I have. Yes.
That's great. Yeah. American food is a little kind of bland sometimes, so um I was just curious how often do you get back to USA?
Most times is mainly by this I compete. I do have family that live in the US, so if I am visiting them, that will be outside of competition. So let's say 3, 4 times for the year on an average.
Oh, very cool. That's
Yeah,
great.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I know you're close to Venezuela, but I don't know if Venezuela's all that great to visit. It's kind of well, seems a
Yeah,
little crazy over there right now.
yes, they're going through some political turmoil, and it is very close. So there's a part of the island called Chagaramas. On a clear day, you can actually see the coast of Venezuela. That's how close it is.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Wow, that's cool. Yeah. Um and uh I do have that question. I was curious how long have you lived in Trinidad or have you always lived there?
Yes, I've always lived there. Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, very cool. That's great. Yeah, I know it's called known as TNT, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah.
And Tobago, yes.
Yeah.
And you actually pronounce it correct. A lot of people say Trinidad and Tobago. It's Tobago.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there's a really great radio station here that has a reggae show and or Caribbean music show, and
Mhm.
they often do like a shout out of the islands, and they talk about
Ah,
TNT all the time, and there's
yes,
a lot
yes,
of good
yes,
music out of there for sure. Yeah.
yes. Good
Um.
food, good music.
Oh yeah, the music is really good. Yeah, and good food too. I bet. Yeah. Um. Now I was curious. I noticed on an IG post it looked like you had served in the military. Is that correct?
Yes, I did for 26 years, 4 months, and some days.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was your experience like there and what was your role?
I did different things. So in military here, I'm not sure how it is in the US military. Um, they can put you anywhere because you're there to serve. So you can have you in an office one day, next day you could be out in the field. It depends on where the staff requirement is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Very cool. That's and so you did it as like a career until you retired?
Yes. Yep.
Oh
I
wow,
did.
that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah. How long ago did you retire from it?
2 years ago. This year made it 2 years I retired.
Oh, 2 years, really? Oh, nice. Very good. That's very cool. I know in the US, the career military, the retirement package is usually pretty good. I don't know. Hopefully it's that similar there too.
Well, I can't compare, so I don't know.
Uh-huh. Um, I was curious, do you have any kids?
No, no kids.
No kids? Okay, cool. And do you have a full-time job outside of bodybuilding or are you just retired outright now?
I just retired from the military and I do a little bit of personal training. Yeah. So
Oh,
that
what?
way I do a little bit of personal training. Since I've retired,
Oh,
I do.
personal training? Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Have you considered doing any coaching like through internet or
No, no, no. I'm
no?
just content with working one on one with people and non-competitors. And it's nice to see, I don't like to use the word normal, but the average person, they come and they just want to see, I want to lose a couple pounds here and there. I want to be able to do 2 push-ups, as opposed to a competitor that is more detailed and more taxing and time consuming as well. So
Okay, sure. I understand. That's very cool. Yeah. Um, in terms of Trinidad, do you find that there's a supportive bodybuilding community there? Are there many bodybuilders that you know of there?
um the bodybuilding fraternity here is not as it was years ago. Years ago it was a bigger sport. Turnout, everything used to be a lot better. And we are now trying to um, revitalize the sport.
Okay.
The NPC had their first competition here just a couple of months ago.
Oh, really?
And yeah, we're trying to get people to come. Come. But the sport is not a so our most popular sport here. cricket and football. Well, we call it football, but the Americans say soccer.
Soccer,
Those are
yeah,
our,
sure.
yeah, our most popular sports here. And so bodybuilding is not mainstream, not anywhere close to mainstream.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
How was the like culturally to people, how do people react to you as being a woman with muscles and like that? Is it accepted or
People have some challenges. I will just put it like that. They have some challenges. Yes.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it is a pretty traditional culture, would you say, in Trinidad?
Could you repeat that, please?
Is it a very like more of a traditional culture there in terms of
Um, I wouldn't say traditional, but there are some things that um, you're used to seeing,
mhm.
and one with muscle is not something you're accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
I think as human beings, anything that is out of the norm, we tend to be a little wary of it. So
Yeah,
while I'm not always pleased with some of the responses that I get, I can also understand, they're having a difficult time wrapping in their mind around it because culturally, men are supposed to be um, big and strong. They're supposed to have the muscles and that kind of thing. So from the time it is you have muscles, it's interpreted as being manly.
yeah,
But
I
you
understand.
know, you know, to each his own.
Yes, totally. Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah. And I was curious, are there other pros, current pros that you know of in Trinidad, like men
Uh,
or women?
Dexter, he has a men's physique pro Dexter Simon, but he is not an IFBB pro. He's an IFBB elite pro. So they're two different leagues.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes, but Dexter's caliber is definitely that of an IFBB pro. And there was another um, girl, Tamara Ribeiro. She competed in figure. She no longer competes. We have
Okay.
another figure pro who was also really good and actually competed at the Olympia, I think, twice, Candice John.
Oh, I remember her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the most famous bodybuilder we have coming out of Trinidad and Tobago is Darren Charles. Everybody knows Darren Charles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's true. I forgot that he's from Trinidad, but I do remember reading something about that. Yeah. Yeah. He's is he still living there in Trinidad?
No, he doesn't. No,
No. Oh,
no.
okay. Yeah.
He lives in Florida. Actually, I reconnected with him at the Masters Olympia. He was in Romania, and we
Okay.
chatted briefly. Yeah, he lives in Florida now.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah. That's
Mm.
great. Um, yeah, I think that there's a lot of expats from the Caribbean that move to Florida, and it seems like but there's good Caribbean community here, of course, too. So
Yeah,
uh,
well, Florida, I think, is mainly because the weather is similar to,
yeah,
yeah.
similar climate and similar kind of feel. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I understand. That makes sense. Yeah, it's hot and humid, that's for sure, in
Yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah.
And Miami is kind of like a Central and Latin America and Caribbean kind of
Yes. It's
business
like
hub.
it's like a melting pot. You get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like a business hub too for all those places
Mhm.
too, and it's amazing to go there and see it, it's a little crazier than Tampa. I like Tampa because Tampa's not quite as crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to Tampa. I did the Tampa Pro. I think Tampa Pro. I think twice. Yeah.
I think I saw you compete there. Yeah, I've been
That's,
to.
yeah, that's when I first got my pro card. I did the Tampa Pro. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm almost
That
sure I saw.
yeah, that was my pro debut, I think. Yes, the Tampa Pro.
Yeah, I'm almost
Mhm.
sure I saw you there, and oh yeah, you looked really good. So, and that's it. Yeah, it is a good show.
Mm.
I was curious how has your Christian faith helped shape your bodybuilding career?
It helps keep me grounded. Um, People often ask me, how do you do it? How do you get up early every morning? Um, I don't wake myself up. So if it is I go to sleep tonight and the good Lord He says that's your last breath, that's it. So when I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is I say, thank you, Lord, for a new day. And there are days when I want to lay in bed and sleep. And I remind myself, you know what, Candice, there's somebody somewhere right now. laying in a hospital bed that wish they were home and could come out of their bed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's little things like that I try to focus on because it's not always easy. It's not always easy trying to walk the Christian path. It's not always easy trying. Nothing in life is always easy. That's just how it is. But you just have to take the little pieces of it and see how best you can make everything work.
Yeah, I like that. That's great. I like that.
Uh,
The one thing I want to mention, that the reggae show I mentioned on the radio station here in Tampa, like it's half of it is like Christian reggae, and
yes.
but it's really good though. The music is terrific, and I've kind of gotten hooked on some of those songs. They're just so uplifting and positive. It's really
You know,
neat.
music tends to be contagious. Have you ever heard a song and it sticks in your head?
Yeah,
Yeah. So and music also affects your mood and and that sort of thing.
that's
So,
terrific.
mhm.
Yeah. And I want to say too, your posing skills are great. You look amazing, very graceful with your posing. So yeah.
Oh, I try. I don't have a posing coach, so I normally put together my own routines, and it's challenging for me because there are some people out there that are just absolutely gifted posers. They can play any song from any genre of music, and they will be able to post it. Unfortunately, I'm not built that way. So I have to have a song that I feel. The song has to be in my head, and I go, and I can sing it on stage. Other than that, I'm a mess.
Oh no, wow! I think you look terrific with your posing. You definitely match the music too, which I think is important to kind of match the music and feel that
Yeah,
music.
yeah. I'm not much of a dancer, so I'm not somebody that could go up there and give you a little, no, no.
I understand. Yeah, I'm not much of a dancer either. I've got two left feet, so. Oh man, but I think you look really graceful up there. I was curious, do you ever find it hard to deal with like demands of social media? Because I bet you hear from a lot of fans, but maybe some trolls too. But what's your experience like with social media?
Um, I don't have any challenges. I wouldn't say I have many challenges with it. So, I have an Instagram account and it's private, and again, I just still limit, you know, comments and energy that I don't want because while there are some people that will compliment you, and it's not that you only want compliments. It's good to have um, honest criticism, no comments or that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But I would say it's to filter any kind of malicious content. There's some people that's just downright mean. So
Yeah.
my account is private, and anyone that messages me, I try to respond. And if I find the conversation is taking, I would say it's going kind of left.
Hmm.
I either give them the option to, hey, listen, I'm not going to have this conversation, or I block them.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that does a lot of posting either. I will
Okay.
do the occasional post, or if it's like do a competition or it's someone's birthday or that kind of thing. But I am not a influencer by any stretch of the imagination. So
Okay.
the
Yeah.
challenges are- no.
No, I think that's good. I think that's smart to keep it private. And I know several people that do, or several bodybuilders that
Mhm.
keep their IG private like that. And you don't have as much of the noise and the garbage, to deal with that way, which is nice. Yeah. And I just say that sometimes social media can be, most of it's anti-social media because there's just so many nasty people out there. So just if you can get kind of weed
Yeah,
the nasty people out, you're in better shape.
yeah. I mean, we can't get rid of that. It takes all sorts to make the world. But if it is, we can minimize your interaction with them, or that goes a long way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no. And yeah, less hassle, less stress that way, I think. Yeah. Um, we already talked about USA, but would you consider um and I can't remember if we already talked about it, but moving to the USA, or do you want
Um,
to stay in
I'm
Trinidad?
I'm not opposed to it. No one knows what tomorrow holds. But it's not something that I will say no to.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
sure. Yeah, no, it's just USA is nice just because there's more. I know you've been to many of the shows here, but just to be closer to the shows and closer to some of the big gyms and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
that.
well, some of the gyms, they are absolutely fabulous. I remember actually gone into gym, seen equipment, and okay, how do I use this? Right, yeah, because and all of the the vast and varied pieces of equipment we don't have here.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I bet.
So, technology is changing, it's changing every day. So once I travel, I try to go to a new gym. I remember a couple years ago I was in North Carolina, and it's a fairly new gym called Strength and Body. Oh my goodness! Listen, this may be a terrible comparison, but I think when I entered and I saw it, I heard the Hallelujah chorus. I was like, oh,
Oh.
a fantastic pieces of equipment. Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow, that's cool. Yeah. So so that is a big advantage being USA for sure.
Yeah.
And having, just having a big bodybuilding community too is really neat as well. Yeah. That's funny though with the Hallelujah chorus. I can see that though. I can envision that.
Well, I remember looking, there were at least six different types of Smith machines. There was an indoor track. I think the equipment that they have is something called Arsenal and Rogers. And I think I was doing back that day. And I probably did about 12 different back exercises because I wanted to just touch every single back machine that day.
I totally understand that. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, that's pretty cool though, that you come to appreciate that. Were you visiting family in North Carolina?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's North Carolina's nice too. It's pretty up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Except when it's,
Um,
but
oh yeah, well it's cooler than here in Florida for sure. Usually it is. Um, I was curious, uh, just to wrap up, is there anything that I missed that you'd like to address or anybody you'd like to shout out?
no, I think you covered everything, but oh, there are so many people that I have met that have made an impact. And I don't like to do shout outs because I always miss someone at this point in the moment. They say, okay, I want to say Tom, Harry, Dick, Jade, and I say, oh God, I missed out you. But I would like to think that the people that have made an impact, have been a lot of positive influence that support me, they know who they are. And I
Okay.
think because I don't do any shout outs, you understand? I just go, that's Candace for you. She's not going to say anything. So, but
Yeah. Oh, totally understand that. No, I think that's a good way of putting it. And yeah,
mm.
that's a fair way of putting it too. Yeah, I like that. I was curious too, do you have any sponsors that you like to mention? Or are you interested in attracting sponsors?
No, I don't have any sponsors. I think because of my location, being in Trinidad, that makes it, a bit challenging. So, like, if you have a sponsor, they don't want to get merchandise to you and that kind of thing. Because I'm in Trinidad, is a factor of shipping and different things. So, no, I don't have any sponsors.
Okay, sure, I understand. Yeah. Or would you be interested in some? I mean, possibly, or
Yeah, of course, who would be interested in a sponsor?
yeah, yeah. Even like having a suit sponsor or somebody like that is kind of nice to have too.
Oh, well, as a matter of fact, let me be saying that I do have a suit sponsor. Her name is Michelle. I'm not going to pronounce her last name, but her name is Michelle. Her suits are Maximilius. Her suits are beautiful. I'm terrible, terrible with names, but Michelle, she does
Oh, is
my
it
suit.
Michelle Bogdan?
Yes,
Oh
I
yeah.
yes, I met Michelle. Where did I meet Michelle? And again, there goes my memory. But Michelle and I just connected, and she told me that she made suits. And actually, the suits I wore in Romania, Michelle made that suit.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
we just connected, and she says, Candice, I'm willing to sponsor you. Um, I said yes because suits can be expensive. So
Yeah.
yeah, but her work, I will recommend her um, to anyone. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking away from the other suit sponsors,
Yeah.
that are out there. But so case in point, in her suits, most suits you have to tie behind the neck in a bow. Her
Yeah.
suit doesn't have that. You have the slider so you could adjust it. And I
Oh,
think and that's little details I think, makes the quality even better.
yeah. I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
I met Michelle at the Triple O this year, and she's just super sweet. She's really cool,
Yes,
and
she is. I was at the competition when she got her pro card actually.
oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
When she
yeah.
come, yeah,
She's really cool. Yeah, I like her, and I know. Yeah, her suits are really high quality too. She seems to do. No, she knows what she's doing for sure.
yeah. And she takes her time. It's not rushed. You're not going to be trying on the suit and crystals falling off or anything like that. It's fantastic. Yeah,
Terrific. Yeah, that's great. I'm impressed that she does that. She has a lot of kind of side gigs going on, but yeah, she's an amazing woman. So
yeah,
yeah.
she is. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Candace, for your time. Would you
We'll
mind
have
doing a quick flex for me?
quick flex. And if you come out and make it see flex.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, you look great. Good peek on your bicep there. Yeah. And best wishes for maybe competing later this year too. So keep us posted.
Yes, will do. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Your
And
consideration.
oh, say again.
I said thank you for your consideration.
Oh,
Have a
you're
great one.
welcome.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And like I said earlier, I love your accent too. Your Caribbean accent is so cool.
Thanks.
It's so charming. I love that. I've interviewed a few Caribbean ladies, and just yeah, I just love that accent. It's so cool.
Thanks. So,
But thank you, Candace.
all right, David, take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.